What's up guys, my name is Aaron. This is going to be my review of Turbo Kid, an action post-apocalyptic movie. This movie stars Munro Chambers, Laurence, Lebeouf, and Michael Ironside. The movie's about this kid who's kind of scavenging around in this post-apocalyptic world. The world's like a barren wasteland essentially. One day he meets this girl, Apple, and they kind of form this like uneasy but strong bond. Eventually these leather-bound dudes on BMX bikes, they get into a fight with those two people, and the kid has to kind of find the strength in him to kind of become the hero that he reads about in the comic books that he collects. I saw this movie about a couple months ago. I just haven't had a chance to talk about it because I didn't have my channels going up, but I really want to talk about this movie because I think it's really, really good. It's on Netflix. First thing that I love about this movie is the atmosphere. I feel like it's like a loving tribute to those 80s post-apocalyptic movies and action movies. It's really reminiscent of the movie Mad Max. I really love those film series, and I just love that like post-apocalyptic kind of society. I feel like it's really interesting to kind of think about that. The production sets kind of feel lived in and kind of grimy. It doesn't feel very pristine, and I really like that aspect of it. And I feel like the makeup and the blood were really cool too. It wasn't overly done, like it was lived in and kind of goofy, especially the blood. Like it was very over the top, cartoonish. I love the soundtrack too. Like it's like 80s like synth pop with like pulsating beats and like shimmering aesthetic. The movie opens up with this song Thunder in Your Heart, and that's just very cheesy and very 80s inspired, and I really like that aspect of it. It has a really unique feeling. Like I don't really think of a lot of movies that has like this type of vibe nowadays, and I really like the kind of different vibe this movie has. And I like the action too. I'm not a huge action fan of like recent years. I kind of feel like it's kind of stale and kind of repetitive. You can't even see what's going on in the action, but I do like the action in this movie. I feel like the action scenes weren't like choreographed. Like it feels like real people fighting. It doesn't feel like the Avengers movie or something like that. It just feels very, this is how a real person would fight, because you know they don't have access to things like trainers or anything like that. It was really easy to follow. I enjoyed that. There weren't a lot of like jump cuts and stuff in the movie. I feel like the gore was on point. Like I'm not a huge like blood and gore type of guy, but I do like that it was really cartoonish, so like you would just see blood splattering everywhere across the screen and stuff like that. And I do like when it's a little bit cartoonish. I do like that aspect of it. I really liked how different and kind of how simple the action was. Like it really felt like a lost 80s movie or something like that. And I felt like the humor was pretty good too. It wasn't like a jokey movie, like people just throwing jokes out there just to see what sticks, but it was more like the situation that people would get into, and then like the visual gags and stuff too. Like I like that aspect of it. There was this scene where this guy was strapped to the chair, and it's kind of like a death scene, and it's really funny the way that they handle that. You'd have to see it, but it's just really funny how they handle that scene. Some really intentional like cheesy lines come out of this movie too. There's a character played by Aaron Jeffrey. His character is pretty much like Han Solo, and I like that he just pretty much says those like really cheesy like cornball like 80s action lines, and I really like that aspect of it too. Like it really feels like a relic or something. And like how much gore and blood goes into the scenes too, that could be funny too. It just seems like, come on, like you're just having fun with this type of thing, and I really like that aspect too. I really like the humor wasn't like over the top. Like they didn't try super hard to be funny, but it did add a lot of things to the movie. I like the setting of the movie too a lot. Like I'm a huge fan of post-apocalyptic movies, and I do like the way that they set up this. It's really barren, very bleak, kind of desolate. You don't see like a lot of trees or anything like that. It's pretty much just gray everything. I like the little rules that were established in the movie, like about like the water and like that type of stuff. And then there's like this kind of like a bartering system in this like underground aspect of this world, and I do like that kind of vibe too. It kind of reminded me of something like in Star Wars or something like that, the cantina scene. And just like the anarchy too, like it just seems like anything goes in this world, and I do like that type of vibe. Really reminiscent of Mad Max, but I guess with BMX bikes instead of cars. I do like that vibe of it. But I felt like the characters were the best thing about this movie. You can have all those aspects, but if you don't have really good characters, you're not going to go back and watch this movie again. This movie really did have that. The villain, who was played by Michael Ironside, his name was Zeus. He was really intimidating, really menacing, and I do like how committed the actor was to that role. Like you can tell that he was having a blast with this role. Aaron Jeffrey was cool as Frederick. Like I said earlier, he's kind of like this cowboy, kind of Han Solo type character who kind of kind of like a badass. He has some great one-liners in the movie, and he's just like really, he kind of gives off this cool vibe. But I feel like the movie kind of belongs to Munro Chambers and Laurence Lebeouf, especially her. She did a really good job. I feel like the movie couldn't have worked without those two. Munro Chambers, as the kid, he doesn't really have a name. He was really good. I liked that he was like kind of a scavenger, and he was kind of reserved and a little bit more shy as the movie started out, when he was forced into taking action and stuff like that, and then coming like a little bit more self-assured and stuff. I do like how committed the actor was to that, and he really did a good job kind of showing that, and I do like the character development with his character. I felt like Laurence Lebeouf as Apple, she killed it. She was this kind of like weird, mysterious girl that just kind of shows up to the kid randomly. She's like really happy, really energetic, and kind of like a human puppy. She really contrasts well with the kid's kind of reserved demeanor, and I do like whenever those two were interacting with each other. It was kind of overbearing. Like the first few scenes, you're like, okay, wow, this is like almost like a completely different movie. But as you watch the movie, it makes sense. Like she becomes like kind of the heart of the movie. I feel like Apple was a big enough thing that kind of separated it from other like 80s action movies. Like you have this like really tender, like cool, like friendship, and you really don't have that with these post-apocalyptic movies. Like it kind of gave it a little bit more heart. The only thing that I would have wanted was a little bit more exploration into the wasteland. I felt like you did get a couple of glimpses of it, but I felt like you could have got a little bit more in depth with what happened, and more like bearing on where everything's at, and like more rules and stuff about this wasteland. I feel like maybe this could be a TV show. I can get more answers that way. This movie didn't seem like it had like a big budget, so I felt like maybe if they had a TV show, they could kind of explore that. Just throwing that out there. I would definitely like to explore this world a little bit more. But overall, I love this movie. I felt like the action was really cool and kind of reminiscent of the 80s. I like that you could actually follow the action. The production was really cool too, how the sets were, kind of like the bleak desolateness of the places. I like the humor too, like it wasn't over the top, it was kind of situational, and I like that it didn't like kind of try too hard to be funny. It just kind of had these natural moments occur. The atmosphere, I just like that 80s vibe with the music, and just how like committed they were to kind of bringing that 80s nostalgia back. But then the characters were the major thing that I loved about this movie. Like they had some really like memorable kind of characters that you'll remember as you go on and stuff. This isn't really like a complaint, but it's the only thing that I could think of that I didn't like as much was that I didn't feel like there's a lot of exploration into the wasteland. That was pretty much it for me for complaints. I would give it a 9 out of 10. I feel like this is definitely going to be like a cult movie for sure. Like people are going to go back and watch this movie and be like, wow, this movie's great. I would definitely recommend to people that like those like 80s movies like Mad Max or The Terminator, just those type of movies that are like really like different. And like if you like really cheesy action movies too, this movie's for you too. Would definitely recommend. So what did you guys think? Did you like the movie? Did you hate the movie? Let me know in the comments what you thought, and thanks for watching. Thanks guys. Bye.